everyone! I'm so excited to be back to talk about another story from the Bible with you today. Before we start our story, like we always do, let's practice our memory verse together. Do you remember how it goes? Call to me, and I will answer you, and I will tell you great and mighty things which you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. Great job! Now I want you to find your grown-up in the room, point to them, and say, "You're my grown-up." Practice the verse with your grown-up in a high, squeaky voice like this. Can you do that? Grown-ups, this is your cue. Pause the video when the verse pops up on the screen so you can practice it together. Awesome job with the memory verse, you guys. Now that we've practiced our verse, we're going to hear our story from the Bible. Since our story is from the Bible, what do we know about it? It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Everything the Bible says is absolutely true. Good job. Today, our story is from the book of Daniel, and through this story, we are going to learn that God is all-powerful. First, I want to ask you a question. Do you have a favorite animal? On the count of 3, I want you to shout out what your favorite animal is, okay? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Those are some really good animals. My favorite animal is a lion. And I'm really excited to tell you our story today because guess what? There are a lot of lions in this story. Are you ready? A long time ago, there was a king named Darius. And Darius decided that he needed help ruling over his kingdom. The king chose a man named Daniel for this very special job to be his most important helper. Daniel was very wise and good because he loved and obeyed God. God was with Daniel and helped him. Now, there were some other rulers in the kingdom who were jealous of Daniel and did not like him. They wanted to be the king's special helpers, not Daniel. So they came up with a plan to trick the king and harm Daniel. Oh no! Can you guys do that with me? Oh no! Now, let me tell you what that plan was. These mean rulers went to the king and said, "King Darius, we think that you should make a new law that says everyone can pray only to you because you are such a wonderful king." The king liked this idea, so he made it a law. The new law said that everyone could pray only to King Darius, and if they prayed to anyone else, the punishment was to be thrown into a den of lions. Daniel heard this law, and he heard what the awful, scary punishment was. But Daniel knew that he could never pray to anyone but God, because God is the only one that we should worship and pray to. So Daniel kept on praying to God and didn't pray to the king. Guess what? The mean men were very happy about this. Their plan had worked. Oh no! Can you do it with me again? Oh no! And guess what the mean men did next? They ran to the king and said, "King Darius, didn't you make a law that said everyone can pray only to you?" The king agreed that, yes, he had made this law. "Well," they said, "Daniel broke the law. He prayed to his God and not to you." King Darius was very sad, and he realized the mean men had tricked him. But he knew that he had to keep his own law, so he commanded that Daniel be thrown into the lion's den. Can you do it with me one more time? Oh no! Before the king threw Daniel into the lion's den, he said, "Daniel, may your God whom you serve rescue you from these lions." After Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, King Darius went back to his palace. He didn't eat or sleep all night, and when the sun finally came up, he rushed to the lion's den to see what had happened to Daniel. Had Daniel's God rescued him? "Daniel," he called, "was your God able to save you from being eaten by the lions?" Suddenly, he heard a voice call back to him. It was Daniel! He was alive, and he hadn't been eaten by the lions. Daniel explained to the king how God had shut the lions' mouths and protected him from being eaten because God is all-powerful. He is in control of all things and had power to shut the lions' mouths. I think this is a good time for a question. Grown-ups, go ahead and pause the video when the question pops up on the screen so you can talk about it together. king was so happy that Daniel was okay. King Darius realized that we should only pray to the one true God who is all-powerful. That day, he made a new command that everyone should pray to Daniel's God, who was all-powerful and rescued Daniel from the lions. Daniel trusted God, and God was with him and rescued him from the lions. Just like Daniel, we can know that no matter what happens in our lives, God is all-powerful and we can trust him. After this video is over, take a moment to pray and thank God that he loves us so much and that he has power over everything. Thanks for listening today, everybody. See you next time.